Chosen one, listen closely, this message isn't a coincidence, it's destiny knocking at your door. If you're hearing this now, it's because you're meant to. The universe has a way of finding those who need its whispers the most, and today, it's calling out to you. You've spent your life being the protector, the unshakable force, the one others turn to when their world crumbles. You've been the shelter in the storm, the steady anchor when chaos swirls around. People rely on you because they see your strength, the way you hold everything together, even when the weight is unbearable. But let's be honest, chosen one, that strength comes at a cost. The burdens you've carried, the sacrifices you've made, and the endless battles you've fought have left their mark. You've worn your resilience like armor, but even the strongest steel can bend under enough pressure. Now, something is shifting. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, has decided it's time for change. Someone is coming into your life, not to compete with your strength, but to complement it. This person is stronger than you, but not in the ways you've come to define strength. They won't just stand beside you, they'll see through the walls you've built, the ones forged from years of survival and self-sacrifice. They'll challenge you, not to break you, but to lift you higher than you ever thought possible. Imagine what it would feel like to let someone share the weight you've carried alone for so long. Imagine finding a connection so profound that it pushes you beyond the limits you thought defined you. This isn't just about relief, it's about transformation. It's about stepping into a version of yourself that's stronger, freer, and more complete. Destiny is knocking, chosen one. Are you ready to answer the call? If you feel that pull in your heart, if you're ready to embrace the change that's coming, stay with me. Comment 77 below to declare that you're done playing small, done carrying the world alone, and ready to rise. This is your moment, let's begin. The weight of being strong. Being strong is a role you've carried with unwavering resolve. You've been the unshakable force, the one others lean on when their worlds collapse. In their darkest moments, you've been the steady flame, the guiding star, the protector. Your strength has been a shelter, a place of refuge where others find solace. It's a gift, a rare and precious quality that has shaped the lives of those around you. But what about you? There's a hidden side to strength that few talk about. Yes, being the rock for others is empowering, but it comes at a cost. Every burden you've carried, every fear you've absorbed, and every crisis you've weathered has left its mark. The weight of always being the strong one can be overwhelming. It's not just the physical exhaustion, it's the emotional loneliness that settles in when no one sees the cracks beneath the surface. Here's the truth, even the strongest among us need a place to rest. Even the unyielding rock can feel the strain of the relentless tides. But you've likely convinced yourself otherwise. You've told yourself, I'm fine, as you stacked another brick onto the wall that holds back your own flood of emotions. You've worn your strength like armor, but even the mightiest armor can grow heavy over time. So, let me ask you something, who carries you when your knees buckle under the weight of it all? Who sees the person behind the strength, the one who quietly longs for support, for understanding, for someone to say, you don't have to do this alone? Strength is often misunderstood. It's not about being invincible. It's not about never breaking or always having the answers. True strength lies in knowing when to share the load, in recognizing that even the strongest hearts need rest. It takes courage to admit that you need help and even more courage to accept it. You've built a life around being the one others depend on, and that's admirable. But the universe is whispering now, it's time for you to meet someone who can share the weight. Someone who won't diminish your strength but will complement it. Someone who sees you, not just as the protector, but as a person with your own needs, scars, and dreams. This isn't about weakness or surrender, it's about balance. Strength doesn't mean standing alone, it means knowing when to let someone stand beside you. So, chosen one, as you reflect on the weight you've carried, ask yourself this, what would it feel like to finally share the load? To let someone see the real you and offer the support you've always given to others. It's not just okay to lean on someone, it's essential. Strength is beautiful, but it's even more powerful when shared. Let this be the moment you embrace that truth and open yourself to the possibility of being both strong and supported. The universe's whispers. Imagine walking through your day and noticing something peculiar, something you can't quite explain but feel compelled to acknowledge. Maybe it's the way the clock seems to align every time you glance at it, 11:11, 2:22, 3:33, or the way you keep hearing the same phrase repeated in conversations, as if the universe is trying to drive a point home. Perhaps it's an unshakable feeling, a pull towards something unfamiliar, like the quiet urge to visit a new place, take a different path, or try something outside your comfort zone. These moments might seem random at first, but deep down, you sense they aren't. These are the whispers of the universe. They're subtle, almost imperceptible at times, but unmistakable once you tune into them. They come in the form of synchronicities, those meaningful coincidences that feel too perfect to be mere chance. They come as repeated patterns, unexplainable urges, or a quiet sense that something is shifting beneath the surface of your life. And if you've noticed them, it's not by accident. The universe is trying to get your attention, gently nudging you toward a transformative connection that's about to rewrite your journey. Think of how the air feels before a thunderstorm. There's an energy to it, an electric charge that hums through the atmosphere. You can't see the storm yet, but you feel it coming, the wind picks up, the sky darkens, and the world seems to hold its breath. That's the kind of anticipation these whispers create. It's as though your soul senses something monumental on the horizon, even if your mind can't fully grasp it yet. Maybe you felt it, a quiet restlessness, a sense that the life you've been living no longer fits quite right. Perhaps you found yourself reflecting on old habits and patterns, feeling an urge to let go of what no longer serves you. Or maybe you've been drawn to new experiences, almost inexplicably, as if something is pulling you toward a path you didn't know existed. These aren't random feelings. They're the universe preparing you, aligning you with what's next. The signs often come when you least expect them. You overhear a conversation that feels like it was meant for you. A song plays that speaks directly to your current struggles. Numbers repeat themselves so often it feels impossible to ignore. These are the breadcrumbs the universe leaves, guiding you toward a connection so profound it will change not just the way you see yourself, but the trajectory of your entire life. But here's the thing about the universe's whispers, they require you to pay attention. They're easy to dismiss if you're caught up in the noise of daily life. You might brush off the synchronicities as coincidences or ignore the pull to try something new, thinking it's just a fleeting whim. But if you stop, even for a moment, and lean into the signs, you'll realize they're part of something much bigger. The universe doesn't shout. It doesn't demand your attention with loud, unmistakable signs. It works quietly, gently guiding you with these whispers, trusting that you'll notice and respond. These moments are an invitation, a reminder that the mundane is often a mask for the extraordinary. The whispers are telling you that change is coming, that a connection is on its way, one that will challenge you, push you, and ultimately elevate you to heights you never thought possible. This connection won't be ordinary. It's not just another relationship or chance encounter. It's the kind of meeting that will ignite something within you, a catalyst for growth and transformation. The universe is aligning you with someone whose energy will match yours in ways you didn't know you needed. They'll challenge the walls you've built, see through your defenses, and help you uncover parts of yourself you've kept hidden. So let me ask you, have you noticed the signs? Have you felt the pull, the quiet hum of anticipation that something bigger is unfolding? These whispers aren't just fleeting moments, they're the universe's way of preparing you for what's to come. If you're paying attention, you'll see that the signs are everywhere, urging you to trust the process and step into the unknown. The whispers are growing louder, chosen one. The question is, are you ready to listen? Trust the signs. Follow the nudges. The universe is leading you to a connection that will rewrite your story, and your only task is to be open to the journey. The storm isn't something to fear, it's the moment when everything changes. And when it does, you'll finally understand why the whispers were there all along. Meeting the mirror. There's a kind of connection that doesn't simply cross your path, it collides with your very soul. It's not soft or fleeting, it's transformative, like standing in front of a mirror that reflects back parts of yourself you've never fully seen. This connection isn't about competition or dominance. It's about complementing your fire with their wisdom, meeting your strength with their depth, and revealing a version of yourself that's been waiting to be uncovered. When this person enters your life, it won't feel like just another encounter. Their presence will strike you with an intensity that's both unsettling and magnetic. They'll challenge the walls you've built, the stories you've told yourself about who you are and what you're capable of. But they won't challenge you to break you, they'll do it to expand you. They'll show you that strength isn't just about enduring or pushing through, it's about embracing the parts of yourself you've hidden away. Imagine someone who doesn't flinch when your intensity rises. Someone who doesn't retreat when you put up your defenses or attempt to shield your vulnerabilities. Instead, they'll honor it. They'll stand firm, not as a competitor but as your equal. Their strength won't mimic yours, it will balance it. Where your fire might be relentless, theirs might be steady and enduring, like water that shapes even the hardest stone over time. This mirror effect is where the magic happens. In their presence, you'll see the parts of yourself you've long kept hidden, the vulnerabilities you've masked with resilience, the fears you've buried beneath confidence, and the potential you've been too afraid to claim. They won't just see the strong, unshakable version of you that the world sees, they'll see all of you. And instead of turning away, they'll embrace it. This kind of connection requires courage. It's not easy to let someone see past the armor you wear so effortlessly, the walls you've built out of survival. But this person won't be deterred by your defenses. They'll meet them with patience, understanding, and a quiet strength that says, I see you, and I'm not going anywhere. At first, you might resist. Letting someone that close can feel like handing over a weapon they could use against you. But what if, instead of breaking you, they build you up? What if, in their gaze, you see not just the scars of your past but the boundless potential of your future? They'll teach you that strength isn't about never needing anyone, it's about trusting someone enough to share the weight. This connection isn't about fixing you because you're not broken. It's about growth, about stepping into a version of yourself that's more complete, more aligned, more powerful. Together, your strengths will create a bond that's greater than the sum of its parts. They'll challenge you, yes, but they'll also remind you of what you're capable of when you're fully seen and fully supported. And here's the most beautiful part, they won't overshadow you, nor will they shrink beneath your light. They'll stand beside you as an equal, complementing your fire with their own unique brilliance. This isn't a power struggle, it's an awakening, a partnership that will push you beyond limits you didn't even know existed. So, chosen one, are you ready to meet the mirror? To face someone who sees all of you, your strength, your vulnerability, your untapped potential, and honors it? This isn't just a meeting. It's a transformation. And when it happens, you'll finally understand what it means to be truly seen. Lessons in balance. For so long, you've carried the world on your shoulders, believing that strength is measured by how much you can endure alone. You've been the protector, the problem solver, the rock others lean on. It's a role you've grown into out of necessity, but it's also one that's left you weary. The idea of asking for help might feel foreign, almost like surrender, but what if true strength isn't about carrying it all? What if it's about knowing when to share the load? This connection that's coming into your life will teach you a profound lesson in balance. It will challenge the belief that you have to be everything for everyone, that self-reliance is the only way to survive. Instead, it will show you the power of reciprocity, the beauty of allowing someone else to stand beside you, not as a crutch but as an equal partner. Think of all the times you've given your energy to others, listened to their struggles, patched up their wounds, and offered a steady hand when they needed it most. You've been their anchor in the storm, their safe harbor. But who has done that for you? When was the last time you let someone hold space for your emotions, your fears, your exhaustion? This connection will challenge you to reflect on these cycles of self-reliance and consider the possibility of balance. Letting go of the need to carry it all isn't easy. It takes courage to admit that you can't do everything on your own. It's not about weakness, it's about wisdom. When you allow someone to share the weight, you're not diminishing your strength, you're amplifying it. Balance doesn't mean losing your independence, it means recognizing that even the strongest among us are stronger together. This person will gently but firmly push you to embrace this truth. They'll remind you that asking for help isn't a failure, it's an act of trust and courage. They'll show you that vulnerability isn't a weakness but a doorway to deeper connection. And as you open yourself to the possibility of receiving, you'll discover a kind of strength you've never known before, the strength of partnership, of balance, of mutual support. Imagine what it would feel like to let go of the constant need to prove your resilience. To rest without guilt. To lean into the safety of someone who values you not just for what you can do but for who you are. This is what balance offers, a life where strength is no longer a solitary burden but a shared journey. So, chosen one, here's the challenge: reflect on the patterns of self-reliance that have shaped your life. How often have you said, "I'm fine," when you weren't? How many times have you carried burdens silently, refusing to let anyone else shoulder them with you? And what would it feel like to finally release some of that weight? Balance isn't about giving up your independence, it's about expanding it. It's about recognizing that your strength is magnified, not diminished, when it's shared. This connection will teach you that lesson in ways words never could. And as you embrace it, you'll find yourself growing, not just as an individual but as part of something greater. Let this be the moment you begin to welcome balance into your life. You don't have to carry it all. You were never meant to. And when you let go, even just a little, you'll discover that the world doesn't fall apart. Instead, it becomes a brighter, lighter place, where you are free to stand in your full power, supported and whole. Forged in fire, rising together. Some connections are soft and easy, requiring little effort to maintain. Others are bold, raw, and transformative. These are the connections forged in fire, where the heat of friction doesn't destroy but reshapes. The partnership you're stepping into will be one of these rare and transformative bonds. It will test you, challenge you, and force you to grow in ways you never expected. It won't be without conflict, but through that very conflict, something unbreakable will emerge. This partnership isn't about avoiding the storms of life. On the contrary, it's about learning to weather them together. Imagine two powerful forces colliding, not to overpower each other but to fuse their energy into something even greater. Fire and steel don't combine gently, and neither will your connection. There will be moments of intensity, friction, and even discomfort. But this isn't conflict meant to divide, it's friction designed to refine. The growth that comes from this connection will be profound because it won't just come from the easy moments. It will be born in the struggles you face together. You will challenge each other in ways no one else ever has, pushing each other to confront fears and limitations you've long avoided. You'll hold up mirrors for each other, reflecting truths that might be hard to see but impossible to ignore. This isn't about tearing each other down, it's about building each other up in ways you never thought possible. Think of what fire does to steel: it strengthens it, tempers it, and shapes it into something far more durable. This is what your connection will do for you both. When challenges arise, as they inevitably will, they won't weaken your bond. Instead, they'll deepen it, transforming it into something that can withstand anything life throws your way. But here's the most important part: this isn't a one-sided effort. Both of you will be equally invested in this process. They'll meet your fire with their own, not to compete but to complement. Where you are relentless, they might be enduring. Where you're intense, they might bring calm. Together, you'll create a balance that neither of you could achieve alone. Their strength won't overshadow yours, it will amplify it, helping you reach heights you couldn't on your own. And in return, your fire will awaken something in them, a drive, a passion, or an untapped potential they didn't realize they had. You'll push them to grow just as much as they push you, creating a cycle of empowerment that feeds on shared struggles. Together, you'll turn adversity into fuel, transforming every challenge into an opportunity to become stronger. This isn't survival, it's transcendence. It's about moving beyond the mindset of simply enduring life's trials and stepping into a space where those trials become a forge for something extraordinary. When two souls are this aligned, they don't just exist, they create. This bond will be about more than just the two of you. The energy you build together will ripple outward, touching the lives of those around you in ways you can't yet imagine. But that doesn't mean it will be easy. Growth rarely is. There will be moments of doubt, times when the intensity of your connection feels overwhelming. They'll stand their ground as firmly as you do, and that might lead to clashes. But in those moments, you'll find that the friction isn't meant to break you, it's meant to expand you. It's in those heated exchanges that you'll uncover deeper truths about yourself and each other. This is where the true strength of your partnership will shine, in your ability to rise through those moments, not as individuals but as a unified force. When life tests you, and it will, you won't face those challenges alone. You'll stand side by side, not just surviving but thriving, turning every setback into a step forward. This connection will teach you that strength isn't about being unshaken, it's about being unbreakable together. It's about knowing when to fight and when to surrender, when to lean in and when to let go. It's about learning that rest is as important as action, and that needing support doesn't make you weaker, it makes you wiser. So, chosen one, are you ready to embrace this fire? To let it refine you, not as a solitary force but as part of something far greater. This isn't just a relationship, it's a partnership, a collision of two storms merging into one unstoppable current. Together, you'll not only face life's challenges but also transform them into the building blocks of an extraordinary bond. This is your moment to transcend, to grow, and to rise, not alone, but together. And through this fire, you won't just survive. You'll create something indestructible, something limitless, something truly unforgettable. Let the fire shape you, and let this connection carry you to heights you've only dreamed of. This is your time. This is your transformation. Strength in surrender. Strength. It's a word you've lived by, a mantle you've carried with pride and resilience. But what if I told you that true strength isn't about holding everything together on your own? What if the greatest strength lies not in standing alone but in surrendering to the possibility of letting someone in? For so long, you've defined yourself by how much you can endure. You've weathered storms, carried burdens, and stood unshaken when the world around you seemed to fall apart. But even the strongest among us grow weary. Even the mightiest pillars crack under relentless weight. And here's the truth, strength doesn't mean never bending. It means knowing when to trust, when to let go, and when to allow someone else to share the load. Opening your heart to another isn't a risk, it's a revolution. It's a bold act of defiance against the belief that vulnerability equals weakness. Letting someone see behind the armor, into the parts of yourself you've hidden for so long, takes a kind of courage that far outweighs standing alone. When you allow someone to carry the weight with you, you don't lose your strength, you multiply it. Think of a bridge. Alone, each beam and cable holds its own tension, vulnerable to collapse under too much strain. But together, those components create something unshakable, capable of carrying immense weight and spanning great distances. That's what happens when you open your heart to someone who is equally strong in their own right. You create a partnership that is far greater than the sum of its parts. This connection isn't about rescuing or being rescued. It's about finding someone who matches your strength with their own, someone who sees you not just as a source of power but as a whole person, flaws, fears, and all. They won't try to fix you, because you're not broken. Instead, they'll honor the journey you've been on and walk alongside you on the path forward. Together, you'll create a vision that's bigger than either of you could have imagined alone. You'll build something lasting, something that doesn't just survive life's challenges but thrives because of them. This isn't just about sharing burdens, it's about creating a legacy. It's about aligning your strengths, your dreams, and your purposes to make an impact that ripples outward, touching the lives of others in ways you can't yet foresee. But to get there, you must first surrender. Not in defeat, but in trust. Trust that letting someone in won't diminish you. Trust that allowing yourself to be vulnerable doesn't make you less, it makes you more. Trust that you are worthy of the kind of connection that amplifies your light instead of dimming it. Imagine what it would feel like to let go of the constant need to carry it all. To find rest in the presence of someone who sees you, truly sees you, and loves every part of you, not just for your strength but for your humanity. That kind of love is transformative. It doesn't just support you, it empowers you. Together, you'll rise, not because you're perfect, but because you're willing to be real. This partnership will teach you that strength isn't about how much you can endure alone. It's about how deeply you can connect, how bravely you can trust, and how boldly you can surrender to the power of unity. In their presence, you'll discover a truth that changes everything: you don't have to do it all on your own. So, chosen one, let this be your moment of surrender. Not to weakness, but to a strength that comes from togetherness. Trust that you are not only capable of standing tall but also of leaning in. Trust that by opening your heart, you'll create something unstoppable, a shared vision, a legacy, and a bond that transcends the limits of what you thought was possible. Together, you'll not just endure, you'll shine. The power of co-creation. Some connections go beyond the ordinary, transcending the personal to create something that touches the lives of many. The connection you're about to step into is one of those rare, powerful bonds. It's not just about companionship or shared dreams, it's about co-creation. Together, you and this person will ignite an energy so profound that it will ripple far beyond the two of you, impacting the world in ways you can't yet imagine. This isn't just a partnership, it's the collision of two storms. Think about the raw power of a thunderstorm: it's fierce, electric, and undeniable. Now imagine what happens when two storms merge. The energy doesn't just double, it transforms into a force capable of reshaping everything in its path. That's the kind of connection you're about to experience. Together, you'll set purpose-driven goals, not just for yourselves but for the greater good. Your ambitions will align, but they won't be identical. Where you see obstacles, they'll see opportunities. Where they hesitate, you'll charge forward. This balance will push both of you to dream bigger, act bolder, and create with more intention than ever before. The energy you generate won't just stay between you, it will radiate outward, inspiring others to rise and believe in what's possible. But co-creation isn't just about big ideas or grand plans. It's about trusting the process, even when the path ahead feels unclear. Together, you'll embrace the unknown, leaning into the challenges and uncertainties with faith that what you're building is worth it. This connection will teach you that creation isn't always about control, it's about surrendering to the flow and trusting in the power of what's being forged between you. Think about the times in your life when you felt truly aligned, when your efforts seemed to flow effortlessly, and the results exceeded your expectations. Now imagine experiencing that kind of alignment with someone who matches your energy, your drive, and your vision. It's not just about what you'll accomplish, it's about how you'll grow together in the process. Every step you take will feel purposeful, every obstacle a chance to deepen your bond and expand your impact. This partnership will inspire others, not because of flashy achievements or surface-level success, but because of the authenticity and passion behind it. People will see the way you uplift each other, the way you amplify each other's strengths, and they'll be drawn to that energy. Your connection will become a beacon, a reminder of what's possible when two aligned souls come together to create something greater than themselves. But co-creation isn't without its challenges. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, when the weight of your goals feels overwhelming. In those times, trust will be your anchor. Trust in each other, trust in the process, and trust in the vision you're building together. This isn't about avoiding conflict or pretending everything is perfect, it's about navigating the storms with grace, knowing that every challenge is an opportunity to strengthen your bond and refine your purpose. This connection will be transformative, not just for you but for everyone you touch. The energy you build together will ripple outward, influencing lives, shaping futures, and creating a legacy that lasts far beyond your time. It's not just about what you do, it's about who you become in the process. Together, you'll be a force of change, a collision of storms that reshapes the world. So, chosen one, are you ready to co-create? To step into a partnership that transcends the ordinary and embraces the extraordinary? This is your invitation to rise, to dream, and to build something that matters, not just for yourself but for everyone who will feel the impact of your light. This is your moment. Trust the process, embrace the unknown, and let the power of co-creation carry you forward. Chosen one, the path you've walked has been one of incredible strength, resilience, and independence. You've stood tall when others crumbled, carried burdens most would shy away from, and faced challenges with unwavering resolve. But now, the universe is calling you to something greater, a partnership that doesn't diminish your independence but amplifies your strength, creating potential that knows no limits. Meeting someone stronger than you doesn't mean giving up who you are. It's about discovering a force that complements and elevates you. It's about aligning with someone who sees the fire within you and fuels it, someone who honors your strength while challenging you to rise even higher. Together, you won't just face the storms of life, you'll transform them, creating a shared vision and a legacy that goes beyond what either of you could achieve alone. This isn't the end of your story, it's the beginning of a new chapter, one where your strength becomes limitless because it's shared. A partnership like this isn't about dependence or surrender, it's about two equal forces coming together to create something extraordinary. It's about standing side by side with someone who sees you, who matches your energy, and who inspires you to step fully into your destiny. The universe has been preparing you for this moment. Every challenge, every triumph, every whisper of intuition has been leading you here. The signs are clear if you're willing to see them. They're urging you to trust, to let go of fear, and to embrace the possibility of rising as one. So here's your call to action, look for the signs. Stay open to the whispers of the universe. Trust that this connection is coming and that it's meant to elevate you in ways you've only dreamed of. If you're ready to step into your destiny, to embrace this partnership, and to rise into your fullest potential, comment 77 below. Let the universe know you're ready to answer its call. Remember, your story isn't over, it's just beginning. The strength you've cultivated on your own has brought you this far, but now it's time to take the next step. Together with your equal, you'll become unbreakable. So stand tall, trust the journey, and embrace the connection that's waiting for you. The best is yet to come.